Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Boss Babe Blog podcast. I'm your host, Katan, and today we have our 2023 and 2024 guest of the year, MJ. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. As always, it's a pleasure.
I'm so happy you're here, and I'm excited to start with our topic today. So, the question that I'm asking you, MJ, is have you ever felt bad for putting your self-care first? And I'm saying self-care specifically because I'm referring to doing things that are catering or pampering or just taking care of you. I'm not talking about like maybe paying a bill or something like that. I mean like the extra stuff. Have you ever felt bad for doing that?
Definitely. If you are a working person and you're always constantly thinking about which bill need to be paid, what you could have paid, what bill you could have paid with that money that you took yourself to the nail salon with, or that $20 that you spent at the American Deli wing spot down the street, you could have used for XYZ. Yes, it's always a thought in my head that I can be taking care of a bill and not taking care of myself. However, I had to come to learn that I am a bill.
Yeah.
I am a bill. If I'm not taking care of the bill of MJ, what am I giving out to the people that are wanting something from me? And we're not talking about something like money. We're not talking about something at like, I need to borrow X amount of dollars. But what kind of attitude are you giving off to people if you're not allowing yourself to be pampered, take care of yourself? What are you doing that might affect a person? You might have a whole attitude because you want to go to the nail salon, but you wound up spending that money on a bill. Uh, the person who asked you a question that had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to be mindful, and I know I do too. Speaking from personal experience, we have to be mindful of tone,
Yeah.
attitudes, and the people
And
because
our happiness meter. If you're
because there
not,
are some people who deserve to see the very best of us happiness wise.
yeah,
There are some people, actually all people, nobody really deserves to be snapped on, especially if they didn't do it.
yeah,
Um, and whatever reason you're snapping on them is really none of their business unless they did it.
exactly. And we were
So
just
you're
talking about this in our last podcast.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to be mindful of that because if you're not mindful of that, you're giving off all of your negative energy to the world, to the universe. And then guess what? In turn, the world and the universe is not going to want to deal with you,
yeah,
business wise or personal wise. The universe is not going to want to deal with somebody who looks like a negative Nancy every day.
yeah. So let me
Like,
ask you, how did you overcome that, or how did you or how are you, whichever fits, but overcoming the idea of like, okay, taking care of what needs to be taken care of while also making sure that I'm taking care of myself. What was one solution you provided? Because I mean, of course, we can't spend all of our money on, the things we would like to if we have that budget, if we have that system, but how do you find that balance?
um, for me, and this is still something that I am working on, because for example, I will go months at a time without getting my feet done, especially in the wintertime, because your feet are in sneakers, they're in socks. Nobody's looking at your feet all the time during the wintertime. But in the summertime, you can't be going around looking like Shrek's feet down on your feet. So you gotta work that out. Now, how am I overcoming
Direct
that?
speak, really?
Shrek's feet. Yes. I said what I said. Yes. How am I overcoming that? Well, I'm no longer like really sitting there overthinking. Okay, well, can I use this $50 plus a tip to pay a bill? The answer is always going to be yes. I can always use that money that I'm using on myself for a bill, for something. I just really had to learn that you have to show up, and we've talked about this in the previous podcast, showing up in a professional manner, showing up in a way that will get you what you are wanting from the people.
Yeah.
And people are looking at you from head to toe. And I always say my feet, and this is the reason why I say my pedicures.
Yeah.
I work in food. My part-time job is in food. So my nails is not something that is dire to me getting done because we really can't have the acrylics in food anyway.
Yeah.
That's a health violation. So my self-care, my splurge is my feet because I stand on my feet so much, not only as a teacher, but as a food service worker, my feet always hurt.
Yeah.
And it's important for me to keep my feet, if they're not done, keep them hidden, but keep them done because that's my self-care.
Yeah.
Besides,
And like you said, presentation is key.
yeah, presentation is, and if you're putting on sandals and you didn't at least scrub off the remnants of nail polish you got on your feet, there's just certain things that I had to grow to learn not to do anymore,
Yeah.
especially in professional settings. I have some of my coworkers that will look at me and will tell me, "Hey, when the last time you been to the nail salon?" They can tell. But I have those type of people around me. I
Yeah.
want those type of people around me because
To
it's
be
like,
honest with you,
yeah,
you should.
yeah,
I mean, I think that that's another basically another tip in a tip, which is having people around you who remind you the importance of investing in yourself and not
yes,
putting that stuff to the side because some things you can't put everything to the side when it comes to self-care. And then there was also something I was going to ask. Okay, so we've talked about like the importance of balancing out, your finances, paying your bills, but also at the same time understanding that your self-investment is a bill as well, investing in your appearance, not just appearance superficially, but self-care, taking care of yourself. So
right.
what have you ever felt guilty when at a time when you were putting yourself first self-care wise over someone else? Have you ever had that guilt before?
Yes, I have. Um, I had a person ask me to borrow some money and I had just used it at the nail salon. However, that guilt lasted about 2.5 seconds because um this was a person I was not sure if I was going to ever see that money again.
Yeah.
And I'd rather use it on, my pedicure or going and sitting in a nice restaurant, even if I'm by myself and eating a nice dinner or a nice
Yeah.
lunch, or do that than loan out my money to somebody who I might not get it back from. Which is one of the things that I've kind of stopped doing in terms of, loaning out money to people because people's money get funny, change get strange, and people forget that you loaned them money. Um,
Yeah. No.
no.
So when you felt that way, do you know, this is what I'm trying to get to. What do you think made you, in those instances where you ever felt bad about putting yourself first, doing something, what do you think that comes from? And then second question, how did you overcome that as well? Because I think a lot of people put themselves last in business, not just in business though, but in personal life, in friendships, in relationships. They continue to put themselves last out of the guilt of not wanting to say, hey, I need this. You know what I mean? So what I want to
Mhm.
get to is where did that stem from? And how did you overcome that mindset?
I feel that it comes from accessibility.
Mm.
Um,
Woo!
People,
That's gonna go over somebody's head.
somebody just
Look,
missed that one.
okay, look,
Somebody just missed that one. I'm gonna say it again.
accessibility.
Accessibility.
Please go ahead,
You're
continue.
too accessible financially, personally, physically. You're too accessible.
Yeah,
Um, to the point where people have, in their phones, they come accustomed to maybe not speaking to you for 4 or 5 months, and then all of a sudden, hey girl, how you been? How you doing? Hey,
hey,
look, listen,
hey, sweetie, hey, queen,
hey,
hey, sunshine, hey, love.
hey, love, hey, how you doing? Good. Can I
Sure.
borrow $20? Now, is you borrowing or you don't plan on giving it back? I need you to be honest
Yeah,
with me when it comes to my coins. But one way that I have, because I'm gonna come back to the topic before I go all the way off. One way that I have um worked on remedying that is not being so accessible.
Yeah.
Okay? Not always responding to people immediately.
Yeah.
When they come with the hey sis, hey love, hey cousin.
Because we got to think about it. Like, if they ain't never said hey sis to you in the past 30 days, what,
30
or
days or more.
30
30
days
days
or
or more.
more, what is what's coming from this? And it's
What
okay
what
to
what is this?
accept, it's okay to accept the love and still say no. Because I've had
Mm-hmm,
plenty of people that have buttered me up and, oh, how you doing? You look, oh yeah, you're doing so good. I'm so proud.
mm-hmm,
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really
yeah.
appreciate your words. You don't know how much I appreciate you watching me. Like, everything that you're saying, I love it. I'm taking it in. Can you possibly? No, I
No.
can't, because I have to prioritize based off of what is going to be the best decision for Katan and what is going to help Katan grow in her business, in her life, all of that. I still
Right.
accept the
Right.
love. I still appreciate it. I'm going to still reciprocate it when you're doing things, but that
Mm-hmm,
doesn't mean I have to tell you yes when you want
right.
me to just
Right.
drop what I'm doing or inconvenience myself.
Yeah. And I've inconvenienced myself for others a lot.
Yeah.
And I told myself, now this is MJ about, I would say about 7 years ago. I told myself that I was going to work towards making myself my biggest priority.
Got you.
Um, my biggest priority, because if I'm not prioritizing myself and I'm giving to everybody else, what's
Yes.
going to be left of MJ when everybody is done taking?
Yeah.
You know, everybody should have a taking limit. You know, like you have a spending limit on your debit card. You
Yeah.
can't go over $500 per day daily spending or ATM cash withdrawals. Same process.
Oh,
Same.
she said her ATM cash withdrawals. I was trying to
That's
stay
it.
serious so we could finish the message, but girl, it just pulled it out of me.
Baby, the message is treat yourself like that $500 ATM daily spending limit on
Yep.
your bank card.
Yep.
That's the message.
Yep. And with your friends, with your family, that is a really good point. Like, that taking, okay, you know what? I've asked a lot lately. Let me just replenish, or let me just see if she needs anything now. But like, to your point, everyone does not have that limit.
Right.
So you're
Right.
going to have people that will continue to take and take and take. And in your head, you're thinking, okay, well, I'll just do it this one time. And when eventually they'll probably stop, they're not going to stop. It is going to continue consistently because you are showing them that you are accessible and you are willing to inconvenience yourself consistently. So,
There's another piece to that. Um, you're showing them that you're just balling out of control, even if you don't have it.
yeah.
That could have been your last $50, and Susie asked for $40 of it. Now you have $10. Susie has $40 that you know of, because Susie could have asked you, Tom, Joey, Mandy, Karen for
Mhm.
$40. And now guess what?
You were the only person that said yes. Yeah.
Or you were one of the 5 people that said yes, and now Susie has $200 and you have
Mhm.
10.
Yeah. People, I think another thing, and this gonna be my last point because I wanna go back to you and then talk more about your business and how you solve that solution of self-care. But I think that people forget that in those situations, those people, when they see that you're giving and stuff like that, and you're able to continue giving them stuff nonstop, in their
Mm-hmm.
minds, like you said, they think that they're you just got it like that. So you're gonna go ask everybody else, and you're the only person that's saying yes. Guess who they're gonna be coming to next time? You know what I mean? And the idea of, okay, maybe they don't have it right now, like you said, that's not gonna come across in their head. That's the last thing they're gonna be thinking about. What they're thinking about is, oh, she had it last time, so she probably have today. And I think that conversation, this is where people sometimes lose really great connections and relationships because they don't know how to express that properly. But the conversation should sound like, I can't afford it. And that's simple. Because even if you may be able to actually pay them the $50, can you really afford it? Because if you know you've been working all week and that $50 was your only way to treat yourself or take care of yourself, you can't afford it. You can't afford it mentally, emotionally, you can't afford it. And saying that to people clearly gets the message across. They need to understand that you're human too. You got to take care of your needs as well. You're not just
Mhm.
something to walk over and use whenever, it's convenient for you. So
Right.
I
Because
don't think
that fifty
people say
dollars
that.
could have that $50 could have went towards that unexpected bill that you just got. We
Exactly.
we have unexpected bills all the time. If you drive a vehicle, baby, it's not going to tell you, okay, your tire is going to blow in 3 days.
Yep. Yep. The backup stuff for
Or,
yourself.
it's not going to tell you, oh, you're going to need your brakes redone in 2 days, 7 hours, 10 minutes, and 18 seconds.
Yeah. I
You got
wonder, do you think it will be too much? Some people probably going to be like, what's wrong with you when I say this? But a challenge where you say no for an entire week or an entire month, honestly, because a week is not enough time, where you just say no to the people, maybe to the people who don't do you can say yes to because you guys are already in the circle of replenishing each other. But to people that are new to that circle, just say no. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if that's something that people who struggle with this can do. It will be hard in the beginning because it was something that I had to consciously think about. Like, I want to say, oh, yeah, I could do this. But then I'm like, I can't do this. I don't have extra time to do this. I can't just do this for free. You know what I mean? I can't invest all of my energy into this service or product that you're wanting me to invest into it because I can't afford it. When I'm,
right.
when I'm at the place where I have all of this money. I'm a billionaire. Sure, spend money on this business, spend money on that business. I'm not going to waste. There's no point in wasting, no matter how much you have. But investing back into the community even more because I already do it. But doing it on another level and being able to do those things that I want to do, those are more options that are available. But you have to be realistic with what you are at and don't think just because you got okay, cool, you got a lot of sales. But that doesn't mean that you can afford to put other people before yourself. That doesn't mean that. You need to go back
Yeah.
and do the math. You know, I need this for me. I need this for my business. I need this for, like you said, those emergencies that don't tell you when they're going to happen. I need to do all that before I can tell you yes or no on if I can afford to spend some money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's so true. And I think the biggest challenge is going to be for a lot of people to say it and stand on it. We've talked about standing on no here on this podcast.
10 toes down.
10 toes down, down. Standing on it. It's not just saying it. It's saying it and walking away from the conversation. It's saying it and put your phone on D&D for that particular contact, because if you have an iPhone you can do it for that particular contact and not for the entire phone.
Yeah.
It's things like that. That's more than just saying, oh no, or oh no, I don't think I have it today. No, I don't have it. Listen to the tone.
Yeah.
You're hesitant and they're going to pick it up. Are you sure you don't have it?
Exactly. Like, no, I'm sure the answer is no. And if anything
I'm sure.
changes, I'll let you know. That's also another thing too. People, it's okay. If anything changes, I'll let you know. Bam.
Mhm.
If it changes, if it don't change, we're still where we're at, which is no.
Right.
So I think that that's important too. Like you said, the tone, that's a really big thing, actually. I didn't think about that, but people do when they sense that uneasiness or, oh, maybe I could ask her again. No, maybe you can't. Maybe you can accept no.
As if you had a choice.
Yeah.
And there's some people you just don't. And there's some people that might ask you, hey, can I borrow $20? And you don't know them from Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
How did they learn that they can come and ask you for money? Somebody's been talking. The street's been talking.
Yep.
And the
Somebody has
street
has shared that you have these habits
the
of
streets has been minding my business and my wallet, and I need for you to stay out of it.
and my wallet. Yep, that's a really good point. People do that. So I mean, I think these are all really valid things. So if you're someone out there who tends to put yourself second, or you're always the person everyone's going to, but you're not putting aside what you need to do for yourself, I just want this to be a reminder to do that and figure out where it stems from, where you feel like you want to do things for people. I know for me, um, I'm going to share my piece, and then MJ, I want you to talk about some things that people can do self-care wise, through travel, because that's something that some people overestimate how much it's going to cost or how much energy it's going to take or how stressful it's going to be. It doesn't have to be stressful to just get away. But for me personally, I think that I have a few places where that in the beginning where that guilt kind of stemmed from. My mother did a really great job of raising her children. And so one of the things that she raised us to do is be respectful to people, right? To treat them well and always start off with the positive energy. So a lot of times people would mistake that positive energy for me being a person that's just going to bend over backwards to do things for them. When in reality, I'm not bending over backwards for anybody. No, I don't bend over backwards for myself. I stand up and I do what needs to be done and I walk on my journey. So why would I do it for, other people? But in that process, it was really hard gauging. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be rude. And you know what I mean? I don't want them to assume that this is my intention versus just being able to say no. And if you assume that's your intention, that is all on you. I cannot be responsible for anyone else's assumptions and what they depict me to be based off of my actions. I can only be responsible for my actual actions. So if I have actively been supportive, caring, a positive person towards you, and I have not been doing things negatively, that is what I'm responsible for, and that's what I feel good about. Now, you feeling like I'm a bad person because you came and said, "Hey, can you do this?" And I said, "No." That that's not up to me. So that's kind of where mine stemmed from. It was trying to find the balance. I couldn't figure out where the medium is, and the medium is no. That's the medium. It's no, and it's
It's
also getting used to saying no without feeling like you have to explain why.
that that no is a complete sentence, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Take it from your English teacher. Take it from your English
we
teacher.
got
No,
English
a
lessons with MJ. No.
no is a complete. That is a. Oh, that's a TikTok video. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Look, girl, we
Um,
were making content.
yes, no is a complete sentence. You
Yes.
don't need to add any. It doesn't need to be no because. It doesn't be no but. It doesn't be
Exactly.
no. No,
No, but maybe I can. No, you can't.
no,
No.
no.
That's why you're saying no in the first place. There's no maybe. It's no maybe. No, maybe is a whole nother answer. No and maybe are two
Mm-hmm.
different things. So don't come back
Mm-hmm.
and say maybe just to make them feel better. And no, but no. We're not doing what's that word? What's that thing when they those consolation prizes? No. It's
Oh,
just no.
no participation trophies. No,
Yeah, no, it's just no. So
it's
being
just
able to say it without feeling like you have to explain yourself is also very important. So I just want to remind people that it's okay to put yourself first and it's okay to not need to explain yourself. If you feel like you're had that feeling of being obligated to explain why you are not able to do something, no.
mm-hmm.
If you feel like, you want to, that's because you want to explain, but you do not have to explain. And that's what
Right.
people need to understand. It is not a requirement. So, on that note, MJ, can you go through and just talk to us about maybe give a couple ideas on what people can do for self-care travel wise that, you would recommend?
Um, Travel wise, a lot of people. The biggest thing that is now starting to really become a trend is staycations.
Girl,
Um,
yes.
because I know I've taken a couple of staycations myself. Oh,
Yes,
I've taken a couple of staycations myself.
I have
Staycations.
to.
Yeah, staycations doesn't. It does not have to be you leaving your city.
Yeah.
It can just simply be you leaving your house.
What is a staycation for you? I mean, can you explain in detail what a staycation is technically for people that don't know? Because I've said it before, and some people really didn't know what I was talking about. They're like, a stay, what? So,
Yeah.
what is a staycation,
Um,
MJ?
a staycation is a vacation where you pause. You don't do um, anything that you would do in your house. Um, so you're not paying bills. You're not taking care of children because no children should be with you. That's not a staycation. That's a family vacation. Um, just thought I'd differentiate the two.
All the mamas
Um,
out there, go ahead and take your staycation.
and daddies too. Daddies
And
need to
you're
take care
right,
too.
and daddies too. Look,
The men
mamas
need
and
self care
daddies,
too.
look, please correct
Can't
me
forget about
because
the men. Can't forget about the men. You're
They
not
can't.
doing, you're doing nothing. You're being lazy. You're doing nothing. And you can't really be lazy at home if you have children. They're
Yeah.
knocking on the door.
And when you're
They're
on
knocking.
vacation, you can't be lazy. No, you got to get up. You got to feed those kids. They
You
got to
got to
eat
feed those
every
babies.
day. Kids have to eat every
Right.
day. I can't get over that. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's not the same.
So yeah, a staycation is where you just you and it like I said, it doesn't have to be anything major. It could be you renting a hotel room 3 blocks from the house.
Yeah,
Because I've done that. Not even 3 blocks from my house, but renting a hotel for the night up the street,
yeah,
relaxing, doing something that you probably wouldn't be able to do at the house. For me, when I'm doing a staycation, the only thing that I want to do is sit down, eat some snacks, and watch some ratchet TV. That's all I want to do. That's it. That's it. Ratchet TV. Um, I just want to sit
I'm
in the
not mad
bed,
at you. I'm just mad at the way you really rolled that R when you said it. But I can't
ratchet
get too
TV.
mad. I can't,
Yes.
and I'm gonna say
Sitting
it again.
there remote like this until I find the show that I might want to watch. It might be Love and Hip Hop. It might be it might be the Real Housewives. It whatever it is. Because that's not something that I would do in my house.
Yeah,
So that's one thing.
yeah.
Um in the travel industry that you could definitely do. Another thing is a spa getaway.
Ooh, yes.
Um
I
yeah,
forgot about that. I need to. It's
a
been a
spa
while.
getaway. Now I need to book myself my first spa getaway, where you just relax, you are enjoying the resort, because most likely if it's a spa getaway, it's a resort. You're using the amenities that they have, or you're saving up to, use some of the premium amenities, and you're
Yeah,
allowing somebody to pamper you, get you
yeah,
a massage, do your feet if you're doing one of those spa pedicures. Walking around in your white towel, I'm not your white towel, your white robe, and you're going
yeah,
to the sauna if that's self-care for you. A spa getaway is really, really nice. And it might be something that you might want to find and save up for and say, hey, we're going to the spas in Arizona in this is what, July. We'll say for Christmas.
hmm,
Okay. You know, allow them to come and bring you food. Let them wait on you hand and foot. Let them do what their job entails them to do, and you're not doing anything but enjoying the amenities.
yeah,
Um, so between a staycation and a spa getaway, that is two big self-care ways that you can travel with.
yeah.
Um
And they can be very affordable.
they can be
Yeah,
now if you're wanting to go to, if you're in Georgia like me and
yeah,
you're wanting to fly to Arizona, of course that's going to be a different cost. However, there might be a spa, you're in Georgia, maybe in Florida, maybe in Alabama, and I'm just thinking about neighboring states at the moment.
yeah,
Um, for those who may not want to go too far. Get a rental car and just ride out, clear out your head. You don't necessarily have to do anything that requires you to stay in a hotel. Go rent a car, just get in somebody else's vehicle where you don't have to worry about if there's macaroni and cheese and french fries on the floor. And, ride. Just take a drive.
yeah.
I've
A
done that
mini
by
road
myself.
trip. A mini
Yeah.
road trip. What would we call that? Like a stove chip? I don't know. A
We got to
staycation
think
road
about that
trip.
one.
We got to think of a fancier name, but we'll
We
talk
got to
about
think
it
about
later.
that one. Just hop in a rental car, even if you rent the car for a weekend
Yeah.
and you go to like day trips. You get a rental car and you ride to, for me, it would be riding to Thomasville, which is about an hour away from me.
Mhm.
I could I could go and go see friends in Thomasville, go visit some people in Thomasville, and then come back home. And then the next day you can go to, for me, it would be Jacksonville, which is about 2 hours away from me. Ride
Mhm.
down to Jacksonville, go to the beach. Another place it would be for in
Oh,
central to me is Savannah, Jekyll
Think
Island,
about
Tybee Island.
friends. That's a
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't even think about friends' house and stuff like that. That's really true because if you want to like go visit them, you also cut the cost of the hotel if it's a friend that you trust and you want to spend time with. But
yeah.
dang, that's a really good idea.
And
I'm
it's not
thinking about
anything
that
that
spa
you
too.
right. And it's not, that spa sound real good right now.
On it, I got to tell you about a spa nightmare that happened to me, but we're gonna say that for another. It's
What's
gonna
in
be a
that
different
for another
podcast.
day?
I'm telling
But
you, it was the worst thing that could possibly happen to you. That could possibly happen to me getting ready to go to flight. I mean the spa. And it had nothing to do with the spa. It was something that happened and it was like, dang. I still
yeah,
enjoyed the stay, but it was not
yeah,
cute. So we're gonna talk
yeah.
about that.
But there are some ways that you can um put you first in travel. There are people who go on, wellness cruises. Wellness travel is a big thing.
Yeah.
There are people who get on a cruise ship and do yoga all week. I'm not, but there are people.
Yeah.
I'm
That
not.
doesn't sound too bad. Like a cruise and
It
yoga and
doesn't.
stuff.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. Like, especially like in the fall time, like September, October.
Hmm.
Once the summer has
Oh, and
kind
the
of
sun is kind of down and you can kind of not
yeah.
be too exhausted by the heat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like some
that's true.
sunrise or sunset yoga, it's really not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But there are ways that you can take care of yourself and even splurge on yourself if you wish, with travel. And it's a beautiful thing. If you
Mm,
are a person who wants to organize a wellness trip, you can definitely do that.
yeah. That's good. Okay, so now that you've shared all of that, MJ, what would be the best way, or what would be the best way for people to get those services from you?
For me, it would be in a research fee because wellness travel, although it sounds great, it's not something that I promote. So it would definitely be a customized trip. So it'd be a research fee.
Okay,
All of the information to contact me is on my website, www.travelwithmj.net. Or if you want to send me an email, actually, no, there's the contact us page on the website.
yeah,
That would be a great way for you to be able to get in contact with me and I'll be able to answer your questions. Whether you want to book a consultation from there, it will all stem from travelwithmj.net.
okay, okay. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you joining us tonight, and can't wait for our next topic. I think you helped me decide on the next topic for our podcast, which should be travel nightmares, and everybody get on and just talk about something that
Ooh.
happened. It doesn't have to be at the place you stayed at. It can be something that happened personally that just made that trip that, and then we can all talk about how we're going to plan to fix that by going on a new vacation.
Yes, yes.
Uh, okay, so I will talk to you all soon. Thank you so much, MJ, for joining. And thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you on our next podcast.